Hello, this is a game between two 4Q players on Wbaduk, the former Cyber Oro Ghost server, and even if it wasn't that wild as we are used to see on the Korean Ghost servers, it still had its moments of fighting here and there. So without further ado, let's get into the game and see what could have been done better. The Fuseki is pretty peaceful, starting with a Hoshi and a Shimari for black and 2 star points to Hoshi for white. And this time we see again the middle side split, which is the old school way of dealing with a Shimari opening by black. Nowadays we often see the early Sansan invasion, and black of course can block either side. For example, when black blocks at R16, we see many times the double Hane Joseki, and this is the most common pattern, where black is giving up 1 stone, so white goes for Oponuki, but captures the 2 stones in the corner. Then we can also see this Keima played quite often, and in this position black can Tenuki and decide later whether to continue with a Nobi or a Hane in the corner followed by inside cut or double Hane, or simply Nobi. So black decides later what to do in this corner. Many times we see the block on the outside, and even if it looks that having the wall facing the top area, black is going to develop some kind of moyo in the top left towards the top left direction, things can change because black can Hane in the corner, play the inside cut, and when white captures a stone in the top, black will squeeze, then capture the stone on the right side. So all of a sudden the direction of building the moyo is towards the right side instead of the top. So black has the potential in this direction while white takes the moyo towards the top. This is a little bit counterintuitive, but we often see that kind of follow-up when the direct Sansan invasion is played. Now white can also consider the inside approach, R14 Kakari, which is more common used at the middle side split, or outside approach from O17, and then either slide and make a base in the top, or attach and fix the base this way, which is a very common Joseki and pretty modern too, or simply extend back to K16. This would be old school to develop the moyo towards the top. Now white can also think about some kind of contact plays like O4 or Q4, and this can become messy very early, but white is trying to play a patient game, at least in the beginning. We will see what happens later. So playing a move like R10 keeps things simple. Black can attack from the top and white simply makes a base this way, or if black attacks from R8 direction, white can play a 2-space jump or a 3-space jump to fix the base towards the top. Now when playing R13, black usually plays Ogema and then secures the corner. Well, it's also possible to play R15 to put more pressure on the tiny base on the right side. And when white decides to go closer to the corner with a 3-space approach, black can invade first and then induce the corner defense. This is also an old-fashioned Joseki. So the point of playing R12 is to invade the right side in order to sacrifice that stone and keep white busy while inducing the corner defense with the moves at O17 and S16. These kind of Josekis were quite popular back in the day before the AI era. So black decided to play completely tenuki. Well, black can play the approach in the top, f17, and if white defends calm, black decides to attack from the top and then set up the moyo in the top side. This would be quite a nice framework for black to work with. And that's actually also the reason why white doesn't play the r10 split nowadays. So black decided to be a bit more aggressive with the inside kakari and another inside approach, which feels more like a handicap style play. So white decided to split too. Normally here we see black continue the corner joseki with a slide and make a base, or once again he can use the attach and then fix the corner this way. This is quite popular these days. So black is more active, and white here could play calm, defend the corner, let black come back and try to connect his stones, because there is still invasion points, either c8 or c12. So this is a patient way to play to approach the game as white and also keep center. If this happens, white can continue attacking the top right and then extend towards the shimari. So like this, it's still a pretty balanced game. Anyway, white is trying to be active too. So black slides here, but instead of sliding, black should attach c4 and honey in the corner. Now another joseki that can happen is atari and descent, where black will separate, then double atari, oops, my bad, and go down to fix the corner. Now white needs an atari here to go for the outside, and in the top black can think about double approach. It can be low or high. For example, when playing the high double approach, if white comes between the stones like this, black will simply fix the corner and then play away. Let's say get something on the right side and develop the top. So this can happen, but black decided to slide. Playing the slide feels a little bit cramped. It's a very good decision for white to protect. Now black is supposed to extend back for a base, but this is korigatachi, over concentrated formation for black. So black slides in the other corner too. Now in this area it looks pretty good for white, the way white developed here. So black decides to go high. Well, playing the high point leaves the slide on the second line, so black still doesn't have a base. Even if it's a little bit cramped, black should play the third line. Now when white plays the jump to make a base too, black is supposed to run out with the top group. Then white should protect here, and black either attacks at the key point here or jumps again. Well, it feels a bit strange how black developed on the left side. That's quite an unusual setup to have the cramp formation and also the running group, but he's out and safe with both groups. So in the actual game, black played the keima. That's the kind of move you play when there are no white stones on the left side to develop a large moyo. Now white extended here instead of playing the pincer to put pressure on c14, and after the pincer white can also slide to remove the base for the other group. Now if black protects like this to make some I shape, white can also build the top side while attacking. This is more active and effective play by white. Let's go back to the actual game. So white jumps out, black also jumps between the groups. White goes for the top side and tries to attack a little bit as well, but here it's good enough to play the two space jump in the top, having the Kosumi formation in the top left corner, it's better to play a 2-spade jump on the 4th line. It's going to build enough. But in this position, black can play a kick and then jump out again. So he's quite safe with both groups. So black pushes one time, and then black is quite alert on the moyo that's coming up in the top and comes all the way to h17. But this feels a little bit risky because his groups on the left side are still pretty thin. So once again, black needs either a 1-spade jump here for a base or a Kosumitsuke, and then try to go for the base and come out with the groups. Usually when you have weak groups, you gotta fix them or settle as quickly as possible instead of invading or trying some other desperate moves and getting into trouble even more. So here white jumps out, but white can consider a shoulder hit to put pressure on the top stone. So if black simply goes out and makes a base in the top, white got a pretty strong wall, so it's much easier to attack the left side group. Either like this or surround everything. Anyway, the idea is probably the same with this J15 jump, but it doesn't feel like putting enough pressure on the top group. So black pushes once and peeps. Now against this peep, instead of connecting right away, which gives white an empty triangle here, white should consider a counter-attacking move, which is K17. So if black cuts, white can block in the corner and white can leave in the corner. For example, against this move, white can just go down. And now black has a problem with his top, because h17 doesn't have enough room to fight and win the semi in the corner. And if black plays another move to go towards the corner, even if black leaves in the top, he's going to be hurt on the left side, because now black still needs this kind of moves to fix the top side, and again white can surround everything on the left. So this shows more fighting spirit, and in general it's good to surround your opponent groups. But of course it requires a little bit of reading skill. So remember the idea of playing with fighting spirit. Now black comes out and white decides to invade her, but he shouldn't. It's still better to put pressure like this to get stronger and then attack the top left. Of course, it's also fine to go for an attack on the lower left group and then fix a base, and now black is forced to run out somehow. Invading the top starts to make white busy. So black comes out between the groups, then white has to go out also. Jumping here is quite natural, that's a good shape. But having these two heavy stones in the top, it's not to white's advantage. So that was some kind of desperate invasion, thinking that black is going to build too much in the top. And that's the tendency in two-player games. You don't want to see your opponent building too much, so it always feels necessary to jump in. I used to play the same when I was a 5Q, and I realized after a while that my groups were dying every game, so I have to change something in my playing style and the way of thinking. This game is quite nice to run out with a flexible formation, so black still feels surrounded. And white is trying to attack all the groups, the top one, the left, the lower left, and the game starts to get pretty messy in a few moves. Well, the peep is not really necessary. White can just think about a slide or attach and pull back to fix the top group, and then attack the lower left instead. If black cuts at J13, white is very happy to squeeze. And then if black connects, white can go out. If black cuts, white simply separates. Or Atari and go in between. So nothing to worry about. Because the reason for this pip is to fix against the cut at J13. So moving on with the actual game. Before connecting here, black can play a pip, which gives white a bad shape when white connects. So bamboo connection, then white comes out from the top. In fact, it's better to play Kosumi than one space jump, because the Kosumi can have a bigger impact on the top stones. So now white is finally trying to fix a base on the left side. But this is the place where white could get in trouble. Black can peep first and surround the left group. Now white needs to play something to fix the base, and then black can play another move in the center, or just attack the bottom group once, then peep, and start the counter attack against the top group and the weak stone on the right side. So here black could take initiative. The way black attacks the top, it's not the best, because when white connects here, white shape is pretty good. So playing the peep on the high point, when white connects, white is not happy with this shape. Besides, if black goes down, there is no more I shape there. And this way, black is center, so black can attack on the right side. I mean, expand his corner and also put pressure on R10 while attacking the top group in the same time. Playing like this, white makes a nice shape and black should bump or defend back. So now white can play a good shape connecting like this. Kema here is good too, attacking the top L15. So black plays a peep. That's not really necessary. Now white jumps between the groups, that's a good idea. And again. And here probably white can consider the attach, trying to cut Kema at the waist. Then cut right away, Atari from behind. If black captures, white just no-B and surrounds the group. If black connects, white can push first to force the eye and then surround the group. So now black is in trouble in the lower left corner. Well, white goes out between the groups, it's also fine. Black shape, it's a little bit heavy. And in fact, black had a problem on the left, so it's more urgent to fix this group. Try to make some ice here. So black goes out in the center. White also keeps everything separated there. But in fact, it's better to surround the group on the left first. Now here, it's possible to play the solid move threatening to cut. Then if black connects with a hanging or a tiger mouth, white can surround the group in the middle left. And if black goes out in the middle, white can just hane and now surround the lower left corner. So either way, it feels promising for white. So black decided to cut and white cuts back. That's a good decision. Especially that here white has the squeeze. And this looks really heavy for black. Well, white decided to go for the kill on the left side, but in order to do that, white should take away the base at B13. If black simply blocks, white can go up, then push, and block the top left corner. Because in the middle it's difficult to make twice. one eye like this is possible, but there is no eye on the left side. So the group will die. Well, even like this, black is not completely out of danger. And in the actual game, white goes for Atari on 3 stones, and black could just give up the 3 stones, push in the corner, then turn, and came on the left side. It's better to leave with the group. If white takes 3 stones here, it's just gote for a couple of points, so now black can play away. For example, push like this, peep, and make a base on the right side. But we often see in Q player games that they don't want to leave any soldier behind, so a connection here was probably pretty much a reflex play. Now the find on the left side becomes quite exciting. So black is trying to save everything, and white went for just the tail, but here white should keep connected and surround the whole group. If black protects like this, white can Atari or actually go for removing the base, and it's actually quite difficult for black to live in the corner now. Not enough room to build twice, and white has enough space to fix the base and stay safe in order to kill the entire group. Well, if black just plays Keima, for example, and white goes for the tail like this, then black loses the stones in the middle, but the corner or the side group is alive now. So like this, black decided to save the important part of the group. Let's see. Tuck, tuck. Huh. Yeah, it's difficult to kill everything now. So if black is trying, if white is trying to surround the whole thing, now white will fail the kill and then get into trouble on the left side. So this was probably the most critical moment of the game, and white got some profit on the left side, but he was supposed to kill more stones or try to go for the whole thing. Playing like this, the result is inferior. Now black gets a lot of compensation on the outside, making all the stones in the middle float all of a sudden. And here white is playing a few unreasonable moves, but he got away with that. Normally black should just Atari, and if white connects, Atari again, and leave it like this. The group already dies inside, so at this stage black can surround the lower left corner or play on the right side. Now going back to the actual game, black just protected by taking 1 stone. So white connects, but here, yeah, this move is sente. Again, black could Atari and capture more stones. So if white takes, black just surrounds everything. And if white plays Atari like this, black has time to connect. He's got 3 liberties. So when white removes the liberty, black will just Atari from the outside and catch all those stones in the middle. Now in this position, white is normally forced to give up the 3 stones, but then the other stones in the middle are floating. So this could actually decide the game quite early for black. Playing like this, white got a breather in that area, and now he starts the counter attack. But still, the entire group in the center, it's pretty eyeless. So black is attaching here to fix his lower left group while attacking. That's a pretty good decision, especially that he's going to attack the L6 group. And white went up. White should actually honey under to increase the space for a base. And then continue along with a push. And now jump out in the center. But already the game looks quite difficult for white, having to fix all those weak groups in the middle and the right side. So at this stage, white only build the top left area, but it's not very impressive because the rest of the stones are pretty much floating. So here black surrounds this way, white protects the corner, that's a proper move, and black continues attacking the middle. It's good enough to play a move like L4, because that will build the bottom, and in case white escapes in the center, the shape it's quite stable on the bottom side for black. Well, playing like this, if white pushes, black probably considers the cut right away. But well, white can sacrifice those stones to stay safe in the middle. So this shape is to connect. Now it's natural for black to continue with the Keima and protect the bottom. So now black jumps in the middle, going for an attack on the top group. White gets this nice spot, but white is still in trouble with all the groups. Well, before playing this split, black should think about the pip and then simply expand the corner while taking away the base. But continue with the Kosumi, it's fine. Black doesn't need the pip anymore, it's good enough to play the diagonal move, the Kosumi in the corner, and then go for the pip. The Kosumi is pretty solid, and if white protects this way, black can continue with the pip and then cut one way or the other. And if white protects against the cuts, then black can separate this way. So white goes for a counter attack here. That's a very good attachment, and black separates. Well, in this position, black is already taking advantage by separating the stone on the right side. White leaves in the top right, but in Gote. And in fact, that move was not even needed. At this stage, white is already alive, so white can play on the bottom. This group needs more help right now. Also, a jump on the right side would be good to reduce this area while securing the group in the middle. If black plays the Hane, white can block and then make the second eye. So black goes for a very severe attack against the center group in order to build the right side. And this is probably the less critical moment of the game. Well, there was another chance for white later on to set up a call on the right side in order to come back and make the game closer. And here white had a chance to attack more severe. Normally, in order to go for eye shape, black should play this Kosumitsuke. Now it becomes a little dangerous for black. But if white tries this follow-up, let's see what happens. Black can use the attach, go down, and then go down again to fix the second eye. So it's not so easy to kill that group. Now white tries to reduce the right side. This exchange is no need, can be played later. White should simply Nobi. Because after playing the L4 move, it's easy for black to connect under. So here, if Nobi, then black will push, Nobi again, and black protects. Oh, probably like this. So black cuts and makes a Ponuki. Now it's much harder to reduce the right side. Well, white found a way to survive in the middle, but it was pretty painful. It's better to protect with c2, so when black plays Hane on the left side, white doesn't have to play another move inside. And when black plays Atari e2, white simply no B and it's connected. So that move protects against both Hane on the first line. Black defends under. Now white is trying the last ditch effort in this lower area, but not being able to live inside is just going to lose points. So black should play the PPL to prevent any ko RG, and like this white had a little chance. Instead of playing this move, white should go for the Atari in ko, then of course play some ko threat, take back the ko, then play a Kosumitsuki like this, threatening to make I shape or connect to the outside. So when black plays the Nobi, white can make I shape this way, and when black takes away the I shape, white can Atari and connect on the outside. So this would be a slight chance for white to come back, but white missed this opportunity. So now black can just play the key point right away. And it's difficult to make eyes inside anymore. So black pushed, white is still going for the I shape. And now white has the ko. And white could actually continue the ko by playing t7. Because even if black plays Atari here, and the vital point, black still needs to start the ko t8, t6 to kill the group. So that's a little chance to make up for all the losses. But white decided to play away. Probably white completely missed the Tsumego in this area. So moving on with the actual game. They play some endgame here. And now the game proceeds with the normal endgame. Oh, and here, actually white found a way to create a seki in the corner. So black can play safe like this instead. Going down was a little bit risky. The sequence is quite nice for white. So like this it became seki. Let's see what happens if white goes down. It's still a seki. No way to approach and play Atari, so it's mutual life. But even with the seki, white is still 10-12 points behind. So the game has been decided. Here black would capture the stone with Atari, Atari, and take. But maybe black was thinking he's enough ahead, so he didn't wanna risk anything. And this is pretty much it. White doesn't need that move. White can play away. Even if black plays this Atari and then blocks, white is fine. Black will die inside faster. And especially if white is behind, he shouldn't spend another move inside his own territory. And that's the game. So to conclude, the opening was quite okay for white, especially on the left side where black set up those tiny groups being pretty cramped, and white didn't take enough advantage at attacking those groups. Then there was this critical fight in the middle. I mean, in the top left area where black could take more advantage. Sorry, white could take more advantage, but instead white decided just to go for the few stones on the left side. And this was actually a wrong decision, because all the groups in the middle after this fight started floating for white, so it was really difficult to build more territory while he was busy fixing his groups. So I hope you enjoyed this game review and be inspired. If you do, please like my channel and subscribe, and we'll see you guys next time.